If you currently have a job that is your only source of income, that is a huge risk. Hi, my name is Tamara, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to talk about 6 critical steps that you need to take to become financially free. Now, the first thing that you want to do is to review your entire financial status. You want to have a good view of what your current financial picture looks like. So that's going to include all of your savings, all of your debt. You need to make a list of every single creditor that you owe, what you owe, and what those interest rates are on all of those loans, right? Now, this is going to be the baseline that you start from in terms of determining what actions you need to take to become financially free. So, this is a critical step, and you want to include everything, every single debt owed, and all of your savings, all of your reserves, so you can understand where you are. Now, what I recommend too in getting this done, you want to make sure you have a budget. You need to do a budget to understand what your inflow and outflow is as it relates to your cash. And I know sometimes budgeting can be tedious. We don't look forward to it generally, but it's so critical because usually what you think you're spending, you're actually spending a lot more. So if you need help with budgeting, I can help with that. But for right now, let's just make sure you have some sort of a budget and you're documenting what your monthly recurring expenses are. Step 2, you need to eliminate the debt. Now, how are you going to do this? There are 2 key ways or 2 approaches normally that persons would take when trying to eliminate their debt. It's the debt snowball method or the avalanche method. Now, the snowball method is paying off the smallest debt or the smallest loan first, and then rolling that payment into the next smallest debt that you have. And you keep doing this until you pay off all your debt. The avalanche method is paying off the loan with the highest interest rate first. Now, doing the avalanche method, the benefit with that one is you actually save money in the long term because you're reducing the debt that is carrying the highest expense to you in the form of an interest rate. Now, me personally, here is my advice. If you are the kind of person that you need to stay motivated on your debt free journey, I would recommend paying the smallest debt first, whatever the interest rate is. And when you get that done, usually you get that done in the shortest possible time, then you'll feel motivated to keep knocking off your debts as you're going forward. Sometimes, if you have a large debt with a high interest rate and you're trying to attack that one first, you may become demotivated. If it's taking a long time, you might feel like you're not seeing progress. So if you're more the type where you have to kind of see movement quickly, I would recommend just taking the smallest debt. You might be paying the minimum on a high interest rate debt, but just take the smallest debt, put all of your extra funds on it, and get it cleared off quickly. And that way you can be checking off all the loans that you're clearing up, and you're going to feel much better. So from an emotional perspective, that's my recommendation. The third step is to have an emergency fund. Now, I think I'm just amazed at the number of persons who have absolutely no emergency fund at all. And this is a very, very risky way to live because things happen, right? Cars break down, roofs leak, there are medical emergencies, especially if you have children. So you always want to make sure you're building an emergency fund so you can quickly reach to that fund to take care of any unexpected expenses. Now, what happens is if you don't have an emergency fund but you have a credit card, normally emergencies go on the credit card at a high interest rate, and some credit cards are like 50% annual interest rate, have a 50% annual interest rate, and that will just increase your debt. So, my recommendation here is that you have a minimum 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved up in your savings account so you can reach to that if anything happens. Now, I like to look at the emergency fund in another way as well. I call it my walk away fund. And here's what I mean by that. There may be instances where you want to be able to walk away from a particular situation. Now, whether walking away is your own choice or you have no choice in the matter, you want to be able to have some funds where you have time to determine what you're going to be doing next. So, I'll give you an example. There has been a lot of tech layoffs recently. Meta, Amazon, Twitter, thousands of folks have been laid off. Now, if you're in that sort of a situation, you may have to walk away from a job, and you want to make sure that you have that fund that will give you time to kind of recalibrate. Think about what you want to do next. Do you want to do another 9 to 5? Do you want to have get a course done? Right, you'll have enough money in your walkaway fund to kind of give you time to determine exactly what your next course of action is versus having to scramble to figure out another 9 to 5. Right now, the walkaway fund helps in other situations too. You may be in a toxic environment that's just not good for your mental health, and you want to be able to walk away from that. Having that walk away fund will enable you, it will empower you and give you the confidence to be able to do that, right? So, whether it's a layoff that has happened, or you're in a toxic environment, or a toxic relationship, right? You will have the power to walk away. And when I look at the emergency fund versus the walkaway fund, for me, a walkaway fund is about a year's worth of expenses because you want to make sure you have that ultimate cushion to be able to walk away, take some time for yourself, and be able to decide what you want to do next. But in any event, an emergency fund is critical, however you want to look at it. The next step is having multiple streams of income. I cannot talk about this enough. Now, this has been getting a lot of attention over the past few years with social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, there are so many ways to earn multiple streams of income. Make sure that you're working towards having an extra source of income and not just relying on your 9 to 5. There are many ways to have multiple streams of income. I have another video where I talk about multiple streams of income, and you can go and check that out. But the possibilities are endless. Now, step number 5, forget about the Joneses. Now, you know the saying, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Listen, a lot of these people who we think are well off, right, living a very lavish lifestyle, a lot of them are broke. A lot of these persons are living paycheck to paycheck and you don't even know it, right? So, in the same category, I put FOMO, fear of missing out, or YOLO, you only live once. You're going to live until you die and you're going to need money to support you. So we can't be reckless when it comes to our money. Okay? Pay attention to what your goals are and work hard towards them. And if you take all the steps here and you get your multiple streams of income, especially, you will be able to live the kind of lifestyle that you want to live, right? I am amazed at persons who are taking loans to go to parties.
Yo, is this for real? Am I missing something?
A loan that has a high interest rate, just to go to a party, right?
Believe me, I've made my share of mistakes, so there's no judgment here, but you will have to look at every decision you're making to see if it's preventing you from reaching your goal of being financially free.
It can't make sense to go and, purchase an outfit or a handbag for 1,000 US dollars and you don't have 1,000 US dollars in your bank account. It makes absolutely no sense. The next step is step 6. You want to invest, not only save. Investing is a way to earn additional income, but the critical part here is once you get to a certain level in your savings account, then you want to transition to investing. I find that a lot of people are afraid of investing because they feel like they don't know where their money is. They don't know if they're going to be fleeced, that sort of a thing. They want their money in a savings account where they can check their balance and see it all the time. Now, we have to be mindful about this. Okay, the bank is using your money to invest. That is what you need to know. And on a savings account, maybe you get a percent interest in annually, if that, maybe two with some banks. When you are investing, and there are many instruments or many ways you can invest, you can see up to 7%, 10% interest on your investment. So it's important that you're investigating different ways to invest. There are some persons who are willing to take high risks, right? So they'll invest in things like crypto and that sort of a thing. Me personally, I am very risk averse. So, the other standard ways of investing is what I do. Now, I'll talk quickly, probably about 3 ways of investing. So you can invest in stocks, bonds, and real estate. These are the 3 ways to invest that are usually on my personal radar. Now, where stocks are concerned, when you purchase stock in a company, you buy a small share of that company and you make money as an investor. When the value of the stock you purchase increases or appreciates, then you can sell your stock for a profit. Or some stocks pay what is called dividends. And this is where you would get regular distributions from a company's earnings. That's the company that you have bought stock in, right? So it's an option. You can research that some more and make sure you take a look if this is what you want to do. Now, bonds is another option I mentioned. So a bond is a loan that you make to a company or maybe a government, right? Because governments issue bonds as well. Now, when you purchase a bond, you are allowing the holder of that bond to borrow your money and pay you back with interest, right? So this one is considered less risky than stocks. So if you're risk averse, this might be an option for you. So where bonds are concerned, you make money from the interest on the loan paid in from that company in regular installments. Sometimes the interest on bonds is paid out quarterly or maybe annually. So this is another option you can take a look at. The third option for investing that I'll mention here is real estate. Um, I have done real estate investing for many years. So you can invest in real estate by investing in a real estate company who would use your investment to build properties for sale and then give you a share of the profit post your investment, right? Now, you can go with the company or you can do it yourself. You can buy or build a property and you can sell it for a profit and you keep that profit, or you can purchase a property, renovate it, or build apartments and go ahead and rent that for a profit, right? So these are the 6 key steps that I believe you would need to take on your road to becoming financially free. And, the great thing about money and having money is that it will enable you to make your own decisions, determine your own destiny. And that's why I'm sharing this. So until next time, please remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next one.